Anyway, I ain't got much money, and like I said, I'm using this bike as a runaround. Now, I left it overnight. What's happened? Water's gone in there, and basically in 2 days, obviously it didn't rain for 2 days straight, but in 2 days, it's become really. Steering's just become really stiff. Like the steering lock is on, but I'm fighting with it. And on top of that, because the water went in it, and the bearing that sits on here, should have one somewhere. God knows where. Oh yeah. And the bearing that sit on here, I think it's this one. No, it's the big one. It'll be the big one. It's got to be the big one. Anyway, the bearing that sit on here was, it had water in it basically, and it was a pain to get out. It was all jammed up, yeah, and I couldn't get it out. I took it to my mate, and he had one of them hammer gun, air hammer gun, I'm not sure, or chisel gun, not sure, not too sure, yeah, what it's called, but one of them when I go do. Anyway, he tried to take it out, couldn't get it out. I tried with a hammer, yeah, obviously a cup of tea is Christmas, but it's not Christmas obviously. Anyway, I tried with a hammer, couldn't get it out. It was just jammed totally in there, so what he had to do, he had to cut it off. Now I told him to fuck it. Worst case, if it break, I'll just buy a new one. They're about 60 quid or something like that. Yeah, and he had to cut it out. So now I got a little mark there, which I'm not too pissed about, because I'm happy he got it out anyway. But surprisingly, in just like what, a total of like 6 hour rain, that can happen. Now I know you're gonna say the cap, what, the dust cap on top or whatever it may be, yeah, is gone. Now this bike has only done 450 kilometers or so, and I basically got to change the bearing already. Now that's just silly. And the tools I needed was ridiculous. The size them, put it this way, I didn't have them. Yeah, that I needed to do this anyway. It was a size 30. Yeah, just to do the top nut on the top here that sits on top of the pulse. But anyway, I'm gonna do that, see how it go. And on top of that, I was doing the clutch as well, which is sitting somewhere over there. That's the new clutch. The old clutch is outside. What happened, I managed to snap one of the bolt in there, although I was using a torque wrench and doing it to the right setting and what's not. This was the top bearing, by the way. That's I don't know, probably the top one was alright, wasn't too bad, but it still needed changing. Should have put some gloves on. But anyway, yeah, I can't do a video of me dismantling it because obviously there's not much space in the garage, because my brother has his shits around, and obviously the room is fine, I can work around that, that ain't a problem. But I'm just saying, yeah, if you got to buy the tools to do shit yourself, and if I got to pay someone what, 150 to do something like this, yeah, and a lot of shop would not touch it, is it worth me really buying the parts? Now if I know I was going to go through all this much hassle in such a short period, what, 2,000 miles, I wouldn't bother. And I think the chain and sprocket will need changing very soon. I think when they reach 7,000 kilometers, but I just feel they need to. I'll do them soon anyway. I'll do a video about that and probably the clutch. But like I said, the clutch is already off. Yeah, the casing and that. So obviously I can do that outside or whatever. It's got more room. I could play around that. But since coming back from off-roading, I don't know if it's my fault or whatever, but this is not the bike for off-roading anyway. I don't know why people go green laning with it. It's too heavy. Although I made it up some steep hill, got some pictures, but I didn't do a video because I haven't got a head cam, I'm just using a mobile phone. But I will do a couple more vid, hopefully, about the parts, because I think they're too highly rated for what there is. Alright, they're value for money, but the hassle you go through is just ridiculous, and if you haven't got the tools, like the whole reason me buying this, I said to myself, if anything go wrong, like this or clutch, anything, yeah, engine, the whole lot, I'll do it myself. Now I'm pretty confident in doing a lot of shit, yeah, but this pissed me off really. Just that bearing on there, and now it's got a cut in it. Obviously I said I'm not too pissed about it, because if it goes again, I'll just buy a whole new stem. I think they call that steering something, steering stem, I'm assuming. Anyway, but that's where I come to. But I'll take another video as I get on a bit more, and I'll let you know how I get on, if you want to know, because I've been looking at a video how to do this, and it's been a nightmare. And on top of that, I see people on YouTube getting a screwdriver and hitting this, what's it called, I've got a clue what it's called, but you know what I mean, yeah, but hitting that out. Now I've tried the biggest screwdriver which I got, which is this one. I know I should have used an old one, but that's pretty big, and the thing is, it's not gripping properly. Now I've tried improvising using a socket with another extension on there, and obviously banging it down. I'd rather get that shit out than worry about the tool. The tool's not too much of a problem for me. I picked them up fairly cheap, yeah. But that's it. But that's how it look in there. I know it's not very dark, I can't put the camera light on. I'll try to figure out the light on and see how it goes, but this video is dragging on a bit over one shit. So anyway, cut a long story short, that's basically how Pulse look without the steering stem in and what's not. Anyway, I figured out how to put a light on. So that's how it look inside, and that's what make me assume there's water getting in, because everything seemed to be running down. Yeah, it just looked really messy. Now I'm gonna clean that anyway, but what I'm thinking to do is leave the original one in, because I haven't got a tool to put them in, and besides getting them out, it's a real nightmare. The lip on there, it's not so great, yeah, but I'm gonna clean that up and hopefully take another picture or so about what's going on in there. I can't really get in there. I can, but it involves me moving that out of the way. I don't know if you can see that, but is that there? Yeah. So I think I'm gonna leave that. I'm just gonna clean it up really good. The top one is in better condition than the bottom one. The bottom one was really jammed, so it looks sham. Anyway, back to the back. Yeah, I say you shouldn't get one, but get one if you want one. They're cheap, they're alright, yeah, but I got one because, like I said, the reason I got one, because I'm doing everything myself. Anyway, I don't know, it's entirely up to you, but if you're gonna buy one, you don't have to buy the Saint or the Pulse. You could buy the direct version, direct back. Anyway, back to the vid. Yeah, I cleaned it, put the new bearing on, greased it, put the seal on. What I used to get the bearing in, I think it was a Gilera VX or SP forks, I'm not sure, but we done a fork change anyway, me and my brother. So I think it sit kinda nicely in there, I would say, and it goes all the way down. So that got it on there. Getting on it was a bitch. It's not easy as some video on YouTube. I'm cleaning there as well, a bit anyway, a bit better. I'm gonna try to get down a bit more, and obviously go in there and clean all the rust away before I put the new one in. But like I said, oh, that's a bit of grease I put on there. It don't look too bad. I felt the old cup ring, I think you'll call them, the old cup ring, and they felt smooth. They don't feel bad at all. Yeah, so I'm confident in using them ones instead of using the new ones. wherever I did put them, they're here. I'm just going to keep these as spare. Might try and get rid of them, then got a clue. But either way, work out which is which. And that's it. Anyway, that's the Pulse. Look, I don't know, look a bit dodgy, but it's basically all connected now. Steering moving very nice and freely. Don't really want to turn it too much because the way it's sitting, but it does move really nice with no hiccup. Obviously it's touching there, so I don't want to do that. Still got a clutch for doing that, and hopefully I'll get to that tomorrow if the part come. But beside that, that's